All right. Okay. Every question is worth 1. If you have any portion of the question correct, you may have half a mark. Okay? Okay. I am betting approximately 2/3 of you are going to get question 1 totally right. And I think 1/3 of you are only going to get a half mark. I think that 2/3 of you get this half mark. Wait. I am betting all of you have that. But I am betting only 1/3 of you have the proper answer. No, it's worth 1 if you get the right answer. Yes. Anything other than this is worth half a mark if you have this. If you don't have the blue line, you get nothing. Oh my God. No, I'm going to try saying it slower and louder, which is what you do when people can't speak English, even though you're not supposed to do that, because it doesn't help. But of course, everyone in here can speak English, so the reason I need to speak slower and louder is because they don't pay attention, because they're too busy playing grab bum with the kid beside them. When I am speaking, shut your pie holes so you can hear me the first 6 times I say it. Clear? Or move. Or wait until I get really furious and I move you. What do you think will be the more pleasant option? Good. Every question is worth 1 mark. If you do not have exactly what I have written and highlighted in yellow, you don't get the 1 mark. Okay? If you wish to stop me for explanation, do so. Is that one yellow? No. So what is that worth? Now, I'm only going to do this once. Those are the same answer. did I do in the blue line? I GCF'd, and I wrote it out at the front, right? Yo. Oh, I was looking at this one. I was looking up there while I wrote 6y x minus 4y. 24 and 24.
If I could have your attention, we are just going to start picture retakes. Just a reminder, it is not for everybody to come down. So the only students that are going to come down when your grade and alpha is called are students that haven't had a picture taken, so they missed
Avnar,
the
are you
picture
good?
day on our first day of school. If you are you ordered a package and the pictures didn't turn out correctly, then you can also come down and redo those. Or if you are dropping off an order. These are not for students that don't like their ID picture. That is a $15 charge. So once again, only students that haven't got their picture taken on the first picture day, or you are redoing your order, you ordered the package and you didn't like the pictures and you are going to redo them, or you are dropping off an order. If your ID picture isn't good, you have to pay a $15 fee for that. So at this time, we will have students in grade 9, A to K, come on down to the rotunda.
The easiest way to explain number 16 is to do this, make that some other letter, and make that some other letter, so you have 2m minus 3y times m. And you can quite plainly see that m is a factor in both of them. So you would divide by m and write the GCF at the front. Cancel, cancel. 2 minus 3y. But of course there is no m. That m is really x plus 3. Or that's the easiest thing to do. Conceptually, you need to recognize what math is happening right there. Multiplying. So that as one factor is 2, the other factor is x plus 3. What math is happening there? One factor is 3y, the other factor is x plus 3. So you should notice that x plus 3 is a common factor in both of them. So the common factor goes to the front. You do the division. 2, cancel, cancel, minus 3y. Thanks. Here, 2x minus 1, 6x plus 4 gets you the blue line. 2x minus 1, 3x plus 2 gets you the yellow line. Because, of course, you can bring a 2 out of there. And this one is x minus 1 and 3 minus x. Why is it that? Because you brought a negative 1 out of here, which changed that x to negative, and changed that to negative 1 and positive x, which makes them the same. That page is out of 18. Now, this page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there, oh, yes, Mantosh.
So for 18 you did just now, you just took a negative 1, and then you divided it by negative 1. What did the negative 1 go to the front?
Yeah, it did, because it used to be positive x, and now it's negative x. What?
Wouldn't it take the place of the GCF?
It did. When I take this negative 1 and move it up here, it is negative 1 times x, which gets me negative x. Okay. Now listen. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are infinite amounts of answers. For 6, 7, and 8, there are less, but there are still multiple answers. Aight? So, let us go cabbages. This number, your answer to number 1, has to be any two numbers, n, some number, and n plus 1, that same number with the added 1 bigger, and the n must be negative. So, no matter what number you choose, that's what's going here. Let me give you an example. Let's say I make n 6. Negative 6. What is n plus 1? N plus, no, just n. N is 7. Now, is 7 minus 6 1? So, yes. What is 7 times negative 6? Negative 42. So negative 42 is an acceptable answer. So is negative 2, negative 2 and 3, negative 12, negative 20, negative 30, and so on and so on and so on. As long as their two factors are only 1 apart. All right? So you have to decide if you get the one answer. This is the exact same question, yes? So as long as your number that you pick there is negative and has factors that are 1 apart, it will work. Yeah? If I'm going to factor this, I need numbers that multiply to an unknown and add to 1. Right? Since that, the only way to have two numbers add to 1 is if one is negative and one is positive. So pick a number, any number. 3. So now, if I have 3, how do I get another number that will add to 1? How do I make 3 add to get 1? 3 plus what? It has to be negative 2, right? Well, now I know my numbers are 3 and negative 2, so I'm multiplying to negative 6. So negative 6 is an appropriate answer there. As is negative 12. As is negative 20. As is negative 72. As is negative 132. As long as the factors are 1 apart. Is number 3 the exact same? Yes. So that's 3 easy marks. Now it gets a little tricky. 4 is kind of the same, except it's not going to be 3 and negative 2. It's going to be negative 2. Or, sorry. Yeah. No. The number is still going to be the same. It's still going to be negative, right? Like negative 6. But if we were factoring that, it would be x plus 2 and x minus 3. Whereas up here, it would have been b minus 2 and b plus 3, right? This number doesn't change. The way we factor it changes. What makes 5 different? It's a 2. So the factors have to be how far apart now? 2. So will negative 8 work? Will negative 3 work? Will negative 24? Negative... Yes, Abby. Of course you can. Well, you will never solve it. You can factor it if it's negative 8. If this is negative 8, I need factors of 8 that would add to 2. 2 minus 4. If it was negative 15, I would have 3 minus 5. If it was negative 24, I'd have 4 minus 6. And so on, and so on, and so on. It's pretty... 5 marks there. Now, what changes in 6? Right. There's only 4 options here now, isn't there? It is either what?
5.
It is either 5 or 7. And of course, it is plus or minus 5 or plus or minus 7. Because negative 2 times negative 3 will get me positive 6, but it would get me negative 5. Right? Negative 1 and negative 6 would get me 6, but it would get me plus or minus 7. Right? What am I getting here? Plus or minus what? 7 or 11. Everybody's favorite store. Now this one's really tricky. So what could it be? 12 is probably what most of you will have written. Because most of you will have gone 2x plus 3y times 2x plus 3y. Because 2 times 2 gets me 4, 3 times 3 gets me 9. And then that gets me 6xy and 6xy, which is 12xy. It's not wrong because it says find an integer. Is 12 an integer? So it's right. But it could also be negative 12, right? It could also be 13. Why? You do know, because if you were going to factor this, you would do 4 times 9, which gets you 36. And 4 and 9 are factors of 36. They would add to get 13. It could also be 37. It could also be 20. It could also be 15. It could also be 13, and it could also be 12. So everybody should have had 8 marks there. The rectangle is x squared plus 7x plus 12. I want the dimensions of the rectangle. The dimensions live out here. How do you find them? The same way you found them when we used algebra tiles. So what is it, Mantosh? You're darn tootin' it's x plus 3 and x plus 4. 1 mark. I was pretty clear, I thought, the first 75 times I said it, that every question was worth 1. What will you do to find the shaded area? You will expand for the green, which is what? 5x minus 4 times 3x plus 5. Then what will you do? You will subtract what? If you did that, you may have half a mark. Of course it is 15x squared plus 13x minus 20, right? I'm not doing it all because I'm just trying to get to the answer, yeah? Minus 2x squared plus 10x plus 12, yes? Okay. Go.
13x squared plus 3x minus 32.
Pardon me?
Minus 32.
Yes. Most of you will have forgotten that this negative applies to that, which gets you negative 12, and negative 20 minus 12 is negative 32. That is where most of you will have a different number than what is correct, which is negative 32. Making the whole thing out of 18 and 8 is 26, 27, 28. Tomorrow, on your test, there will be a space that looks like this. And about 17 of you will remember to do this. The other 13 of you won't, even though I'm going over it right now. You will write your name there. And then you will write your score out of 28. Now, I got 2 wrong there that you caught me. So I got 26 out of 28. No. Tomorrow is your test on polynomials. Just like has been written on the board for days and days and days. I don't remember. But is it in your workbook? Then it can be on the test. Every single thing that has ever been written in your workbook, either typed by me or written by hand, is fair game for your test. Of course we're going to have some extra practice and trickery. That's why I wrote those pages there. Who doesn't? Thank you, Anthony. This falls into the trickery category. Just go. Next week, this will not be an option, so enjoy it for today and tomorrow. Yes, as of Monday, there will be no more bathroom trips from my class. I don't care. I never speed, yet there's still speeding laws. I never murdered anybody, yet there's still murdering laws. I might very well, Simmer, get a checklist going that will allow you to go to the washroom once a week during my block. And I will have it right beside my homework checks. That's probably what I will do so I'm not, all of you don't cry like babies about it. See you.
I will see you next week.
You will. What is the answer? It's not factorable. Because there is no way to multiply to positive 30 and add to negative 7. First mistake that all kids make with factoring. You do not actually factor. You learn a series of steps. You then shut up. You, up there, behind sheet 2. Don't move for the rest of the year. Because the next time I move you, I'm just sending you out there, and you can watch the videos. Armand, that could have just as easily been you. You just happen to be eclipsed by Caden, so he's getting my wrath right now. You owe Caden a thank you. Of course, you all learn steps because you have all been taught math as a series of steps. I'm adding fractions. I must find a common denominator. I must multiply each denominator by the other denominator. You are not learning math. There is a significant difference. And as soon as you are faced with something that looks like it will work, you all approach it with the steps you have been given and then try to force it into working the way it is supposed to work. And then you will actually write it out on the paper and put positives and negatives all over the place in a vain effort to make things work. Don't do it. Learn the math. There is no way that will factor, so you leave it alone. Okay? Number one mistake. Factor when you can. Next mistake. When we change the order. If I say to expand that, every kid says, binomial must FOIL 36 plus 3q or 12q minus 3q minus q squared. Then they write it out. 36 plus 9q minus q squared. And then every kid always factors that and gets back to that. And then they expand that. And then they factor that. And then they expand it. And then they factor it. And then they expand it. And then they factor it. And then they expand it. And then they factor it. Do the math that you're being asked to do. How many of you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Remember the episode where she had to try and fill out the forms for the block party? And she went to this office and they said, you got to fill out a form 66S, but you can't fill that out unless you get an authorized form 36B squared. But you can't get the form 36B squared until you have a form XJS. And then she just sat there and saying it over and over and over again until Rosa made her leave. That is what you do. Don't do that. Do what you are supposed to do. That is second mistake. Now let's try some actual trickery. X squared minus 4 squared plus 7x squared minus 4 plus 12. Of course that's x squared. Yes, go. Yes, Mantosh.
What if one of the x squared minus 4s go out front as PCR?
No, because this guy does not have an x squared minus 4. You can talk to your neighbors. Yes, Mantosh?
So would we cancel here or would we expand here?
I'm asking you. Let me change this to something that looks more amenable to you. So what's that green one? What's that green one?
It's the same equation.
So what would it be to factor it?
3 and 4, 8 plus 8, and then 8 plus 1.
Okay. What's A?
X squared minus 4.
Plus 3. What's A?
X squared minus 4.
Plus 4. What do you do there? Combine them to get x squared minus 1. What do you do there? X squared. Well, it's, yeah, minus 4 plus 4. It's just x squared, yeah? Okay. Are you done? Why not? I got a difference of squares. Am I done? Yeah. Why is that trickery? Because a great many of you, as soon as you see that, probably want to go x plus 2, x minus 2. Right? But again, think about what is actually happening and make your life easier. Why you guys always want to make your life so tough? But you don't find it fun. There's a song by one of my favorite bands. The band is Cake. The band is called Cake. They sing Short Skirt, Long Jacket, which you've heard even though you think you haven't. Cake has a song that in the chorus it says, some people try to make life a little tougher than it is. That's what you all do in math class. You think math is going to walk in through the door like a big bully, take off your glasses, stomp on them, and spit in your face. It's not going to. Make your life easy. All right. These ones always cause grief. Just give me a second, because it's hard to make these up out of my head. So give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
So what happens is, right, this dude comes out of here. Look. Then we're gonna go over there. That's the next.
Okay. This causes much grief, much weeping, much gnashing of teeth. They are all divisible by 3, Simmer, but most of you will look at that at first and say, okay, 12. Oh, 12 times 7, 84. Got you. Oh, 12 doesn't go into 39. And some of you crazy kids will actually do, okay, 12 times 39. 78, 0, 390, 8, 6, 1, 4, oh. I need factor of 468 that add to 84. Some of you will actually do that on your test. And you will then make a list of these. And because you are refusing to actually learn your timetables, you will start this. 1, 468. No. 2, 234. No. 3, 153. No. 4, you will actually do this. And then I will say how many people need more time. And those of you who are on this question, because it's question 3, will say, and And I will say, kid, do you know what you were doing? And you will say, yeah. And you will continue your list. Once again, are you behooved by memorizing steps or knowing math? You are behooved by knowing math. And my good friend Simmer just said, those all divide by 3. And she got 4x squared plus 28x plus 13. And now the numbers are much easier to deal with because you must multiply to only 52. And is it 1 and 52? No. Is it 2 and 26? Yes. And all of a sudden the question is done in 2 steps without 1 and 468, 2 and 234. Oh. Okay? Bring all your math knowledge to every question because although the concepts are the same, sometimes it can be a little tricky. Aye. What else is there that I can make tricky on this test? Let me think. I didn't hear a thing. Oh, I'm old, right? So I could be hearing anything. Who knows? Let's go with 25 p squared QR plus yeah, Simmer, stop. Let's make it 5. Plus, let's go with Let's go with 25 let's go with p cubed p squared QR minus 14 PQR. Wait, I lie. 14 doesn't work. It doesn't work. It needs to be, 70 PQR. Now it works. I actually just made that easier by making it 70 instead of 14. Please tell me you were not looking to multiply to 350 and add to 25.
No, sir.
Good job. I was until you did that. Of course you are doing what? Well, I would divide by 5 PQR.
Wait, you made it 70? I thought you said 17.
70. Now, I guarantee you approximately 10 of the 30 kids in this room will stop
There.
at you will stop there. I guarantee that at least 10 of you, even though I am making this big a deal of this, will stop there. Because it was a little bit tricky to do the GCF. So you will think that, That was a pain. I must be done. Are you?
No.
No. Why? That factors. To what? 5PQR, P plus 7 and... Wait.
It's yellow.
P is yellow. Huh? Wait. Shut up. Don't give me away. Peas are green too. Wait. Snow peas are white. They're not really. They're still green, but they're called snow peas. And they're not there right now. Or are they?
That was a good one.
I recorded all that. When's class end? 8 minutes. All right. Okay, remember, ladies and gentlemen, every single question in your book from page 71 to page 87 is fair game for me to put on the test. Anything between those two pages, including drawing out algebra tiles. Every single thing that I have written, every single thing that I have said, and every single thing that has been typed on the pages from 71 to 87. What? I do hate them.
Then why are we doing this? Dumb curriculum.
Jeez. Hey, pass me that white book. You lift, I'll pull. All right, you want a badass question? Let's see if I can find a bad, because this book is crazy. I don't even like looking in this book. Okay. How about try that one?
I was talking to RJ. Not like
I don't care. I don't care. Hello, Gabriella.
I wanted to let you know that I won't be here from Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I wanted to let you know I put videos on YouTube. Watch them, and they go with your book. Okay, that's like unbelievably difficult, hey? No, that is crazy hard. It actually has something. There's a factor you could do at the end of that is actually I haven't even taught you yet. So if you even get to there, I would be kick ass.
Oh my god, is that Joelle? Oh my god, it's Joelle? Oh my,
I love your outfit.
thank you. Sorry about that.
Are you ready to quit tomorrow?
Nice.
Yes.
Wait, there's a what today?